Chai, my people, Nigeria is finished. Like, Tinubu government is the worst corrupt and the rotten government you can ever imagine. These people now make corruption, like bribery, as a normal thing. Do you know that just this by-election in Anambra as well as other states, APGA allegedly is giving 10,000 so that they can vote for them. And the sad part is that Nigerians are collecting the money and they are voting for APGA. And also other states, APC is giving 20,000, PDP is giving 20,000. My people, where do we go from here? I remember before, when people are buying votes, they'll be doing it secretly. They'll not even let, Nigeria police or, all these security agents to know about it. But right now, security agents, they will be there seeing everything that are happening, and these people will do absolutely nothing. Now it has become like a normal thing to buy vote so that people will now vote for your party. Hey! And this is just a warm-up. 2027 is going to be worst. So yesterday, when I posted a video where Canadian courts tagged APC and PDP a terrorist organization, somebody said that who is not even a terrorist in Nigeria. Like, he's even disappointed that they have not tagged Nigeria Army a terrorist organization, because 85% of people that are there are repentant Boko Haram. This is the people that are supposed to be cooling somewhere right now because of the crime they have committed. Rather, they now call them repentant Boko Haram. I even recruited them in Nigeria Army. Is it the kidnappers? Is it the people that are just buying people for absolutely nothing? Like, the whole thing, it don't spoil. Like, it don't spoil. Even when people kind of have a little hope. But when you look around, you start asking yourself, is there really any hope? Look at the 2027 we are talking about. People are busy collecting money just for by-election. And they're giving them 10,000, 20,000. Then what will happen during the main election 2027? They even be giving some people 30,000, 50,000. And Nigerians will not even resist it. Because this Tinubu government is intentionally weaponizing poverty so that Nigerians will be handicapped. Like, they will not have any other option than to collect that money and vote the so-called party. Then, where do we go from here? The whole thing is really, really heartbreaking, honestly. Let me allow you guys to listen to this particular video and hear what they are saying concerning the state of the nation, like state of Nigeria, this 2027 election, the ADC, and all these nonsense people that are even blaming P2B, that P2B is confused. Why is P2B in the LP? Why is P2B in the ADC? As if P2B is Tinubu that we're supposed to be blaming of everything that are happening in Nigeria right now. Take a listen, my people.
All right, that was Peter Obi right there today, along with a couple of journalists as well, while he was addressing them, talking about what his observations are. So while some people think that he is not making inroads, well, a couple of people think he's also making inroads, and that also does not mean that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not making inroads. The presidency recently responded to critics saying that the country will collapse because a particular publication, Daily Trust, actually put out there that the country would collapse based on what the current economic reality is. And Sunday Dare came out to say that it is just an exaggerated assertion and it's not backed up by facts. They were criticizing that the piece of feeling public despair and misrepresenting the actual state of the nation. The presidential aide emphasized that while the country is facing economic challenges, the situation is not as dire as some reports actually stipulate. Meanwhile, with the 2027 elections approaching, tensions are boiling within the ADC over alleged moves by former Vice President Atiku to consolidate control of the party structures ahead of a possible presidential run, which will leave Peter Obi and other aspirants in a political battle for influence. So, multiple ADC insiders allege that Atiku, the People's Democratic Party's 2023 presidential candidate, has strategically taken control of most ADC state chapters, zonal organs, and even national leadership positions. Another insider alleged that Atiku financed the larger part of the ADC takeover, that from day one of the coalition, Atiku's camp was ahead in the game. They made a huge amount of dollars available to persuade some ADC members to step aside. Atiku wouldn't spend such massive resources and then fold his his arms. Now, according to them, this particular source, whom a couple of people believe is Dumebi Kachuku because he's been spilling quite a lot, and this particular statement stems from what he said the initial time. And he said, if Atiku is not contesting, but I believe he will still determine whatever happens within the ADC coalition. Look at the MAC-led National Working Committee. Obi only nominated the National Organizing Secretary out of over 25 members. So out of over 25 members, Obi had an influence of nominating the National Organizing Secretary. Meanwhile, the Obedient Movement complained of marginalization after a rift deepened, and there was a document dated July 29, 2025, signed by the National Coordinator Yunusa Tanko. He complained that the people, that's the Obedience, are deliberately being excluded at all levels. While they remain committed to building a united front for the tax ahead, they must release, or rather raise, issues that the members have repeatedly been flagged, that several of the representatives are excluded from crucial meetings where major decisions affecting the coalition.
Isn't it nice when things are as good as gold? You know, when your fave spot is always...
The representatives are excluded from crucial meetings where major decisions affecting the coalition are made. Now, again, the ADC's interim National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi thereby rejected the takeover allegations, insisting that all aspirants would get a playing field, a level playing field. That the ADC Board of Trustees Chairman Ibrahim Mani also downplayed the reported divisions, stressing that the party was focused on building a strong opposition to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Meanwhile, the APC is mocking the confusion or disarray in the ADC, as well as in what is going on with the Labour Party. Literally, just like Barrister Darlington highlighted that Peter Obi should make up his mind. So whatever state of confusion he is in, or any other of the southern aspirants who intend to contest against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, well, they've actually called them out to be persons in a state of confusion. The APC was mocking the ADC on the current situation ongoing, based on the either INEC has actually legalized David Mark or not, or the fact that Atiku is sponsoring the ADC for a basic intention of taking over the political party to put out his presidential ambition there, and all whatnot. Again, most of this conversation and talks are basically by Dumebi Kachuku. We're also going to look at WAEC being in trouble. I'm sure you heard the recent development concerning the recently 2024 results that were released by WAEC. Nigerians are asking WAEC, why precisely did you allow such marking errors? And based on the recently released West African Senior School Certificate Examination, they did an investigation and they briefed journalists. So the national head of national office, Dr. Amos Dangote, said that with the review of 62.96% of the candidates who sat for the examination, that they had credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. And this was after WAEC came under heavy criticism for the sudden shutdown of WAEC's result checker. So there was an error in the marking process of WAEC. There was an error. WAEC has admitted it. In a statement, the exam body released and signed on Thursday by its acting head of public affairs, Moyoshala Additional, stated that the review became necessary following the discovery of some glitches and bugs. So while WAEC decided to go through an urgent review to actually correct the glitches that led to the situation, they said that after reviewing and checking, they've actually temporarily denied access to its portal. So now they have opened the portal, but then they actually admitted to the fact that there was an error in the marking process. So will WAEC be sued? We are having a situation that the same thing happened with JAM. Okay, we saw the resultant factor. The JAM registrar came out to apologize. The same thing again happening with WAEC. So the question is, what is going on with these examination bodies? How come we're experiencing glitches? 2023 election glitches, WAEC glitches, and this is where the future of the students actually hold. In some instances, the process even for the students to check their results is cumbersome. So there's a lot for us to look into this evening. My analyst today is Mr. Tony Mbata. Welcome and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Esther.
And Mr. Lawal Ekundaya.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. All right, Mr. Tony Mbata, let me start off with this whole Jonathan proposition. I spoke with Barrister Darlington during the World News at 6, and he says he has been advising Peter Obi all this while that to avoid all of this supposed embarrassment with his name, that he should align with Atiku. The reason why he said that is because he feels that a lot may happen, and he doesn't want the Southeast to take the brunt of certain issues already developing, like the bigotry or the hate or whatever. He also thinks that if he aligns with Atiku, the strategy will be stronger enough. But there is an unconstitutional agreement that is the time of the South. A lot of persons are asking, why can't Atiku break down the structure and support Peter Obi if indeed they intend to unseat this administration? That's one. Two, why the push for Peter Obi to be a vice? Who says that a Southerner does not have the capacity to be in charge of this country? And number three, Jonathan hasn't said anything affirming this report we're hearing that he would run in 2027. Not to talk of maybe Kachiko coming to tell us that Jonathan is proposing a ministerial slot for Peter Obi in 2027 if he drops his ambition. Does it make any sense?
Thank you, Esther. And I will never agree to the school of thought that Barrister Darlington is pushing out there and some of his friends. And majority of Nigerians want a change.
Okay.
Majority of Nigerians, go and take statistics about what I'm saying. And judging from 2023 election, we have seen it, we have seen everything. And this thing has been, one of the musicians say, emancipate yourself from the mental slavery. Barrister Darlington and co are suffering from mental slavery of fear. Fear of what? The almighty North. Fear of what? The almighty money politics. Fear of not, the North will determine the bulk of vote. El-Rufai's son has published, well, can I say, unverified result. And remember that INEC came with a grammar glitch. Amazon came out and said there was no glitch. Go and check all the military barracks in Nigeria where they didn't allow them to do that, their stupid glitch. The Obi won it. This is the same Obi when Obi started in PDP, marketing himself, telling Nigerians why they should allow him to put this Nigeria in a better shape. Yeah. They were saying Obi cannot. There are small people being in one room tweeting. And when it happened, it dawned on them that Obi and his people are not joking. If INEC did not rig that election, stand by judiciary, all these things will be a story. And they know that they didn't win this election. So Barrister Darlington, bringing all these things, trying to still be in that slavery mentality, that they're not, that Tiku has the money. I don't believe that. No,
not money. He feels that we are not, that the North do not.
He said what
Maybe Kachiku said is that the North always uses religion, they always use tribe, and they always use sentiments to create a sense that the South, any Southern leader will always isolate them or not necessarily pay attention to them. That's what they do. And that he is actually saying that the North only recognizes their own, because the way the system is in the North is that they listen to their elders more. It is that is why they like to go to their elders, that it is what the elders tell the people to do, they do, because there's a sense of deliberately keeping them uneducated. Then they use them and the population for elections. You remember the last election, we saw children as young as 8, 9, 7 giving them the PVC to come and cast their vote. So it's what they tell them to do, they do with 100 naira or 200 naira. They literally keep them illiterate, and that is why he's saying that they only know the name of their own person on the streets. When you call someone else that they think is strange, they may not know. But what a couple of Nigerians are saying is that line of thoughts, that spectrum is being broken now. Peter Obi is trying to permit these barriers, not just him, even Rotimi Amici. They're all trying to create a sense of awareness to those who may be politically illiterate. So that's the perception that Dumebi Kachuku is creating, and that's what Barrister Darlington is trying to say. Let's go like this.
That's what I'm saying. I had a program with Barrister Darlington. What I said is what is in Igbo language. Okay. He said Atiku has more money. Okay. I asked him a question. Are you in the pocket of Obi? Igbo language. Those of them that listen to it, it was very hot. So what I'm trying to say, not they are trying to, they have penetrated it. And when they say not, remember that the Middle Belt are part of the North. And remember that the Middle Belt, if you check the history of this country, the way things has been moving, it's only some set of people that have been ruling. When you talk about the North, I made allusion when I talked about the MPN and MPP when they had their presidential primaries, that it was not Shagari that won that election. They went and brought a core Fulanis. And each time anything is going to happen, it is the time they will tell the North they are one. But when they are bringing somebody, they will bring a core Fulani to come and contest, because they have said that Nigeria belongs to them, that this is their heritage. So if we should allow that, and statistically, how many are they? It's because British position them, let me say it like that, position them because they believe that by allowing this set of people to rule, because if you allow an Igbo man at that particular time, most of the things that the British are doing will not go. If you allow a Core Yoruba to be at the helm of affairs, they will not.
Who will not? The British?
The British cannot mismanage Nigeria the way they were doing it because of the cocoa, palm kernel, and all the things they are carrying away. So they need to put a figurehead that will be there, that will not know what the economic policy is all about. Most of the economic policies of this country is being done in there. Remember that recently, Brigade came to Nigeria, and we're having a lot of things that are going on, and they will buy them over. If you put,
they're already supporting GMO. They're already saying that GMO is safe.
This is what APC knows, that almost all the African countries are rejecting them, and some of the Western world,
even the Western
world are rejecting them, and because they have given them whatever. We saw when this man was coming and romancing with the APC government, and he want to kill us. So that fear that they have put in our people, that they're not almighty not, it's no longer like that, because the Middle Belt have realized that they are marginalized. When they were fighting Nigerian Biafran war, they believe that this is us fighting against the Igbo people. They don't want this, they don't want this, let us do this, and all of them gang together and fought the Nigerian Biafran war. And what happened after 30-something years? All the lies they told them, Babangida came out and said, no, this is not true, because they have deceived them. Now, anybody that's still being mentally slaved, being afraid that Obi will not win, that person is lying from the pit of hell. Our problem is that Nigerians should make sure that INEC is credible, so that our vote will count. I bet you with everything in me that if by the special grace of God, INEC, because INEC is part of APC, when PDP was in control, INEC was part of PDP, and INEC have been the highest bidder. But if God will touch anybody there and let them do the right thing, you will see that Obi will win, as Obi won the last election. El-Rufai, some publish it. Have they killed anybody? They have not done anything. And that is the simple truth. So all what Barrister Darlington is saying is mental slavery. Obi will contest. And coming for Jonathan have not said anything.
Exactly.
Why much? You see, that is, in fact, I like politics. Politics is a game of intellectuals.
Exactly.
And you said it when we started. There'll be propaganda.
Yes.
There'll be intimidation. There'll be lie. Now, age of AI, you will say a lot of things. The feeble-minded people will,
exactly. We
follow whatever they see.
We try to help them.
But thank God for obedience and obe. They know what they are doing. Let us have free and fair election. Go and take statistics.
Not just obedience and obedience.
Nigerians. What I'm saying, obedience. Some of them that are in their social media.
Okay.
They know what they are doing. All the things they brought out in order to. That was one of the pictures they brought out. You saw Obi with what do they call it? Abacha. That is all AI. And you see, these people will come and tell you, look at it. So Nigerians want a change. What we want is a change. Let us emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery that they're not. It is few people that are doing this. And PDP are scheming, trying to be relevant to the political arena. Why they are trying to lobby Obi to come. If Obi say no, why not Jonathan? And some few elements are doing this thing. Look at somebody saying that Jonathan is promising to give Obi ministerial appointment. What an insult. It's better that Obi contest that election and lose that election than Obi refuse. And it's better for Tinubu to continue instead of Atiku to continue, because this is the time
to continue.
Instead of instead, it is better for Tinubu to continue instead of Atiku to win, because if Atiku should win, where is justice? This is the turn of the West.
Wait, if Atiku should win, where
if Atiku should, where is justice? Because
justice where?
we're supposed to.
It's not a constitution.
It's not a constitution, but it's a document of necessity. It's an agreement.
The only thing is that Obi decided to go with the agreement of it's a turn of the South.
It's the turn of the South.
Okay,
so let the South finish their 8 years.
Is it wrong for an Atiku to want to put it? Because this is
why didn't Atiku and his men come out and challenge Buhari and say all the atrocities that Buhari did in this country? Northerners did not. Even this ministerial appointment that they're accusing Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which I'm part of accusing him too, they're not. Buhari started it. When you win any election as a president, you become the president of all the nation.
Yes.
No set of people, not for you. Like Barrister Darlington was saying, did there people who voted for Tinubu? It's supposed not to be so.
Sure.
When you win election, you are father of all. The money is for everybody constitutionally. You don't give appointment because it's my own. You don't give appointment because they are my kitchen cabinet. They follow me when I was a governor of Lagos State. So you must give them. Anybody that challenge you, you remove him, you don't give. It's not like that. It's to tell you that most of our political leaders, our president or whatever, have never agreed that we are one Nigeria.
Peter Obi said it that government officials can reduce corruption if they and their family members are not involved in stealing. He made that assertion today during a session on youth and leadership opportunities with students of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa ATBU in Bauchi. According to Peter Obi, he says that fighting corruption in Nigeria is not as difficult as it is generally perceived.
It is not.
Are you sure?
Yes. I believe so, and I know so. You know, most of the little association we are into, when I was a human rights chairman of JDPC and also coordinator, I know how we run things up to tomorrow. I know how. See, Nigerians, we are not too difficult if we have a credible leader. Remember, maybe you people are small or you have not been born then when Buhari and when Idiabo and Buhari was there. War against indiscipline. Nobody will tell you to kill on the line.
I wasn't born.
Nobody will tell you to do. In fact, you can't be moving and I was in primary school then. You can't war against indiscipline. But because Nigerians, we have not been lucky enough to have a good leader. That is why. Because most of our leaders, they are all corrupt. Look at this time around.
But Mr. Tony Mbata, so again, here it is. Let it not be as if we hammer on against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and don't see some of these positive strides that he's been able to attain. Now, like I read out to you where Sunday Diary said that the talk that Nigeria is collapsing, or that 33 million Nigerians are dying of poverty, or that Nigeria is the first poorest malnutrition children in Africa based on what was released lately on a particular report survey. But if you look at some things that he's been able to, put on ground, for example, the Lion Fund, the Credit Corps, the Leap Academy, the floating of the Naira, the subsidy removal, which obviously enabled him to add more money to the governors. We're trying to be objective here. Very recently, the Minister of Trade and Investment had an interview with Quest, Quest on, on CNN. Richard Quest. You know that the US has imposed a 15% tariff on Nigeria starting just on Thursday. And the big question is, 15% tariff on Nigeria, that is products that we export from Nigeria to the US. 15% tariff, that's very serious. And her response wasn't too in-depth, but she literally just made it known that we have other options. Nigeria is trading with other options. But I want us to listen to the questions asked by Richard Quest and what the Minister of Trade and Investment said in response to that. Then maybe you can give us your own informed perspective.
15% tariff on Nigeria will kick in at midnight Eastern time. Trade between the two nations is almost in balance. Look at that. You can see just about there. The US exported $4.3 billion worth of goods to Nigeria last year. Nigerian exports to the US, well, you can see the numbers for yourself. Nigeria primarily sells oil, fertilizers, to the United States. The tariffs threaten to slow down its economy. The World Bank says it expanded 3.4%. It was the best mark for Nigeria in a decade, besides the COVID recovery. Jumoke Oduola is the Nigerian Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. The Minister is with me now from Lagos. Minister, thank you. Look, nobody wanted to have a tariff number, but 15% was probably the best that anybody was going to get, except one or two exceptions, say, for example, the UK.
Thanks, Richard. Good to see you again. So, 15%, starting from 14%. Nigeria remains responsive. We're not reacting. We're focused on our reforms. We're focused on our 8-point agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But what effect do you believe it's going to have? Where will the strain be in the economy? Because the economy is, if I look at the exports, it's just about in balance. So where do you expect and anticipate difficulties?
Well, it's mostly an energy trading relationship. We're waiting to see what happens with AGOA in September. Non-oil exports are fertilizer-led, some cocoa and other commodities. There are other markets also, Richard. We're looking at our integration strategy across Africa, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Exports, non-oil exports to the rest of Africa are up 24% year on year in Q1 this year. So the world is a big place. Yes, there's competitiveness coming into the U.S. market, but we're also exploring other alternatives.
What does that mean? Alternatives as in?
Alternative markets. We have relationships, like for instance, urea fertilizer is in high demand in Brazil. We have trading partnerships with China, with Japan, with the UAE. And so we continue to look for opportunities for our Nigerian businesses. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda is really focused on bolstering Nigerian domestic investors and supporting them in market access and access to capital.
You see, this is one of the things that people are talking about, that what the Trump tariffs are going to in some way rewire global trade, and people like yourselves, and I know, for example, the Canadians are certainly looking for new markets. We'll see more south-south trade, we'll see more horizontal trade as people try to replace over time US markets.
Certainly. Well, the U.S. will remain a strategic trading partner. We have our commercial investment program, which we started in June of this year, focusing on infrastructure, agriculture, and digital trade. But like you said, we're exploring a lot of alternatives. You recall when we discussed at Davos earlier this year, I told you we'll be watching the body language and that the world is a big place. We do have old friends, and we certainly are making new friends.
If we look at the economy,
all right, so basically her summary is that despite the tariff, the trade, for example, Nigeria exported $5.7 billion worth of goods to US in 2024. They've increased the trade tariff to 15%, which would actually be discouraging for Nigerian exporters because you're going to put a strain. She literally just said, you know what, whatever it is you want to do, we're not going to react immediately, but we have other friends, meaning that we have other countries. You heard her respond to China, Brazil, and a couple of other nations that Nigeria could potentially have trade with. So if basically she sounded confident and she mentioned the president's 8-point agenda, she kept on mentioning the president's 8-point agenda and the economic reforms, which according to her, she believes that by the last quarter of this year or by next year, we will begin to see the reforms work, which could actually give us a statistics of Nigeria's output with the president's reform. In that regard, would you say that Sunday Dare is right, that it is not realistic, it's not true that the country is collapsing or that Nigerians are hungry? Or is it the fact that these guys are not being realistic? They're literally in the clouds and not even facing the reality that Nigerians are facing.
Before I will touch international export or whatever, let us discuss a little bit home.
Okay.
Where an average Nigerians will understand what is going. Let's start from the fuel subsidy. The presidents came up the first day and say subsidy removed, which everybody was saying there was nothing like subsidy. They were enriching themselves.
Okay.
And he did it. And we saw where we are today. The question many average Nigerians are asking, when you said I am paying 20 naira over to do this, I know I can do it with 10 naira, but people overcharging me. I am removing it. You have been paying it. That means that 20 naira you are removing, you will put it either in a purse or use it for any other economic development. Mana Esther, go and check all the economic indices. One of the things you know that the economy is said is that when you see the disposable income of average person, they are increased. When you see your purchasing power, you can easily buy. And when you see things, some of the infrastructures has been done. When you see your light, railway, hospital, road, you see some of those things going. You know that, yes. The question I asked then, where are they keeping this money? The answer the presidency gave us, they have increased the funding of the governors.
The FAC allocation.
Yes, allocation. Now, go and check average Nigerians. Go and check the kind of hunger that Nigerians are suffering today. Now, you look at all the statistics they are telling us, well, even this money, the student bursary, how many people have taken it? And other economic policies they say they are put on ground.
In fact, but trust your point, Mr. Mbata, you know that Nigerians are very independent people. An average Nigerian is an entrepreneur. They can literally pick up anything and make it a business. Let's go into transportation. For example, somebody said yesterday that keke that they used to buy for 900,000 is now 4 million.
I'm going to that place.
Aside from that, even to clear vehicles, for example, a Toyota something before, they said it has increased. I heard them at the customs very recently complaining that has increased.
Everything.
So the question now that everyone is asking, all of this increment, where is it going?
Where is it going?
How do you intend that whatever it is you say you're doing is to help the poor Nigerians? So are you creating an enabling environment for your friends and cronies while the people at the either average or middle or down, literal last letter in the ladder, suffer the consequences of these decisions?
So, as I was saying, when you look at the human beings that are benefiting this, look at our roads, look at the light, or most of the things, the indices, the infrastructure, or things that will make you to believe that these things are happening. You are not seeing, is it our naira? Check our naira before and now. So it's done on us that these people, they are not telling us the truth. Either they don't know how to manage the economy, or what to do, or how to do it in order to bring us out from this quagmire we are into.
I think
the government will ever tell you something. Look at NNPC. Let us go back to NNPC. They came up and told us that NNPC will start working even before Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I quote Ngige. As soon as Buhari won, Ngige said AIT that they are coming from Kaduna and Port Harcourt refinery. The new sheriff have taken over. That refinery is going to work up to tomorrow. Coming tomorrow. Today is a Friday. Tomorrow Monday, even Monday, refinery will not work. You ask yourself a question: do these people know what they are doing? I used to have a program with Radio Nigeria before 3 years ago. I was with one of the professors from UI, and we were analyzing the economy. And I told them that during Buhari, that the minister of economy and the finance minister, they are confused because they are not telling us the real thing. And the issue is that, are we putting people that knows what to do in strategic places?
All right,
that is the question.
Mr. Tony Mbata, I'm going to pause on you right now. Mr. Lawal Kondaya, let me come on to you, because Mr. Tony, they speak English. You go help us break them down so we can assimilate. So here is the thing. This particular information, for a couple of persons who may not have heard or understood it, I'm sure they must have seen it on a couple of national dailies. For some people who don't trust it, this statement by Dumebi Kachiku claiming that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is offering Peter Obi a slot as coordinator minister of the economy if the former Anambra state governor withdraws from the 2027 race to back him. And in the same vein, Governor Bala Mohammed is asking Peter Obi to please come back to the PDP. And we already know that a factor is a fly in the scrotum of the People's Democratic Party. We already know that factor. But do you believe that Jonathan would ask Peter Obi to step down his ambition and back him up, and he'll give him a ministerial slot, if based on what El-Rufai's son put out there is true, and if a Peter Obi as an individual with a party that had gone moribund, based on the result INEC released, polled 6 million? That's another thing to consider. He's also alleging that the northern elites drafted Jonathan, that it is not even the presidency, as a lot of persons are alleging, that it is the northern elites that drafted Jonathan into the presidential race to weaken the south. That Obi was also told that he cannot get northern votes because he is an Igbo man. That's what, a couple of people are telling Peter Obi, and just like Barrister Darlington is also permutating. But he's saying that, for example, if that was the case, that why? That former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and a few northern elites are using the weapons of religion, tongue, tribe, and poverty as they convince millions of poor northerners that the southern president Tinubu hates them and he is a cause of their poverty. This time around, he drafted Tinubu in the phrase and said that Atiku is telling the north that Tinubu hates them, which obviously may be true because the president recently sent a couple of his top delegates to the north to let them know that you guys step down, we are doing a lot for you, and actually reeling out all of the accomplishments and stuff that is in the package for the north. Meanwhile, other regions who are not even in the picture are not complaining. Do you think that is a trap? A big trap?
You said a lot of things. I don't know where I'm going to start. Let me start with the Kashuku case.
It's Kashuku that is the bone of contention in all of this.
Okay, you want saying all these things?
Yes.
Okay. That I don't know. There's a I don't know this proverb in Yoruba and in Igbo that when you have something in your hand for your dog will start dancing and shaking his tails. When you are bringing food for the dog, the dog will be dancing and shaking his tail. So people like that, they are dogs now.
Who is the dog? Kachuku or who?
It's behaving like somebody who is eating carrot and is speaking nice word about the person that gave him the carrot. I'm talking about Kashuku.
That it's the president that is making him say what he's saying.
I don't know who's making.
He doesn't have any grievance against the president. Kashuku's statement for the president is the fact that
I've not said president.
Okay.
I only said that he's eating carrot and is wagging his tail and talking. Praising the person that gave him carrot. Walking. When somebody give you food, and you begin to praise the person as if that person has been giving you food since you were born.
Okay.
So people like this, I don't know where they come from. People who talk from their pocket. I use the word talking from their pocket.
Kachuku is speaking from his pocket.
How can you suggest that Obi, if you step down, is an ambition that Jonathan will give him ministerial post? Is that not
He didn't say it was a suggestion. He said that is what it is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
We cannot confirm if it's true because Jonathan has not even said anything about it.
Wait, you can't confirm that Kashuku said it, or you can't confirm that Jonathan said it. That's all now. Don't forget about Jonathan.
Okay.
Because if Jonathan didn't debunk it, that's one side. He could be smiling on his. I mean, just look at it as well. This one is irrelevant on the picture, because I don't know why you come out and say something like that. It is totally out of the brain. You are not speaking from your brain. You are speaking from your pocket. That's why I use that word. Some people who don't speak from their brain, they are speaking from their pocket. You cannot, ascribe intelligence to such people. You can't ascribe intelligence to such people. So you can see the way he's been ranting and talking here and there. You know that this person is not talking from his brain, he's talking from his pocket. You are telling Obi to step aside and go and take ministerial post. I mean, that is totally out of. I don't know what I'm going to say to that. So don't let us talk about that one. That one is speaking from his pocket. It's not talking as somebody that is intelligent.
Peter Obi is actually saying that proposing a 5-year term. According to him, he says that the current system, which allows 2 terms, should be scrapped and replaced with a single term of 5 years, which is similar to what is being practiced in South Korea. He made the proposal while he visited the Bauchi state governor when he paid a courtesy visit. He said, I have said it before, and I want to repeat it here at the government house. If I have the opportunity, remember that he has said it twice, this is the 3rd time now. If I have the opportunity, we should end the idea of a second term for the president. It should be a single 5-year term so that leaders come in, focus, and do the work required of them. What we see now is that a president governs for 1 year and then spends the remaining years focusing on re-election. We must put an end to that. Let them do their job and move on. And this is looking ahead of 2027, where he reaffirmed his commitment to serving only one term if elected president, pledging not to exceed 4 years in office. Do you think the statement he has made has indicted him somehow?
No. See, let me tell you something.
All right.
In a democratic setting, power belongs to the people. Is that not it?
Yes.
And the people who represent you must be stronger than you. Constitutionally, politically, they must be stronger than you. But in a situation whereby the person you gave a job to through election is more powerful than people who gave job to him, we call that such people dictatorship. So Nigeria is not operating in a normal system.
Okay.
Let us clarify it. In a normal system where people decide, if you like, you can remain 16 years as long as that is what the people, you have a free and fair election. You have a free and fair election. Now, but in a system in which you don't have a free and fair election, people are afraid. The people are, that fear that the next person that is coming in is going to be a dictator. That is what is really making Nigerians to say this. In a normal setting, the moment the person is doing very well,
okay,
who cares if you remain there for 100 years? As long as we are seeing progress and you are our servants. I keep using Britain. If an Indian man that was that British colonized could rule Britain, could be, British, the white voted for the descendants of the people they colonized to rule over them. And he ruled over them and he did something, then what is wrong with us here? Because this politician gave opportunity for themselves at the detriment of the masses. So they go up there, they decide, they come up down here and divide us, and then they are doing well.
With Mr. Tony Mbata, will Peter Obi proposing a single 5-year term because he believes that way you will focus, which is why he put in and said, you know what? Yes, it's the time of the South, and a couple of us feel that 4 years is not enough to do what needs to be done. But he believes that if you know you're not coming back, you wouldn't care whose ox is good. You will do what needs to be done. You will clear the system of corruption. You will utilize the funds adequately because you know that your term will be judged and critiqued appropriately. Okay? Now, ex-IPAC chairman is saying that whoever is permutating and putting out there that the North will not support an Igbo man is saying a lie. That the North accepts Peter Obi and understands his single-term proposal. So why is it difficult for anyone to believe that proposal?
My brother Kunda have said it all. You see, because the system is being skewed in a corrupt manner. And you see somebody will come in, this APC government, as soon as INEC and judiciary declared, they began to campaign because they know that they are failure. Now, anybody are telling you that you can't use 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to put things properly in a shape, that person is lying from the pit of hell.
With a complex country like
forget about complex. What do you mean by complex?
Country is simple. No, let her mention the country that is
simple.
Tell me
that even in your
mention one country that is simple.
You are going far. Even in your family, in the church, most of the places is 2 years, 4 years, and you see people doing tangible thing. Go to the state and see what OT is doing. Go and see what OT is doing. How many years? And some other governors. It doesn't take anybody 20 years to put things in shape. But because this issue of second term, they will use their first time to please Okeke for Okori Okempo in order to make sure that the first second one they'll be elected.
They use the first time. Add this one to it. They use the first time to accrue so much money that they are going to use to campaign for second term. Please add that.
Yes, to make sure that they have enough fund. They will tell you NNPC is working on their pocket. They will tell you that we are giving bursary to students. They are putting it in their pocket because they know who and who will benefit it. You will pay money before they give that bursary. They will tell you they are putting this economic policies is running. All is for their own pocket. Anybody are telling you that you need 8 years, like I listened to Soludo that was saying all the things a whole professor was saying, I can't believe it. 2 years you can do whatever, everybody will see and say yes, you have done something. 4 years is enough. Even 5 years. So
he's a politician.
Yes, that's why he's talking from two sides. That's when you see a leader, you will know. When you see a leader that is coming to change, you will know. When you see somebody that mean business, even most of us that manage our companies, we saw what we put in. We make sure that everything will goes on fine. And somebody, the money is not your money. The resources is not your money. It's for you to judiciously allocate it and supervise it. That is what is there. So telling me that I have 8 years, 4. Let me complete what I've started. What did you start? What are you completing? Assuming you die. After all, Yar'Adua died, and Nigeria continued. We didn't stop. So if Nigerians, because we don't trust our leaders, and we know that anybody that enter there will become Namoha, as Igbo people will say it, let us have these 5 years and checkmate them, and also put laws. Like China today, if you mess up, they will kill you. If you embezzle money, they will kill you. Let us put laws that will checkmate our leaders, that will checkmate these politicians, that will checkmate these governors, that will checkmate any of these people that say they are leaders. So that by the time you mess up, you know that either you will die or you go life imprisonment. Nobody will try this. Something happened in my place. Somebody was saying, you see this here, God, though. Okay, I watch it on social media. Somebody came to buy something. The man said, go in and take. The man went inside and took some, and took extra. He did. The man asked him, is it the only thing you have taken from myself? He said, yes. It's okay, no problem. You see why I'm saying this? I have lived anything, church. I have gone to Osun or Ogun to do something. Anybody that steal from me will run mad. Mazio Keke son just took. I asked him this same question. He did this. The man said, you went to that? I thought you were a church, a Christian. Said, yes, Christian day. The man began to brought those things out.
All right.
So let us put a law.
All right.
If Tony Mbata in office, you steal, let Tony Mbata be killed.
I was reading where some supporters of this administration were advocating that better Odu should be returned, and that drives the motion that the supporters, anything so long as it's pleasing to the administration, you don't know if there is no difference between what is wrong and what is right. But let's take a listen to Adetokunbo Pierce. He's a PDP chieftain, and he had this to say.
I understand that in this country, with people like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have to be rough and tough and be ready to fight them each of the way. Nobody won that 2023 presidential election. Nobody. Atiku got 12 states. Obi got 12 states. Tinubu got 12 states. 31% of the vote came in, and INEC announced. INEC is the issue. What the House of Reps was saying that we have to do this, do that in an election, true. The key thing for us to have credible election is to refine INEC. INEC is the one that made Akpabio senator.
Yes.
Akpabio is not qualified to be a senator because Akpabio did not run for Senate. The vice president Shetima, the same thing. There's so many of them, they are criminals who are not even qualified to be there. What happened? INEC gave it to them. President Tinubu didn't win election, they gave it to him. That's his problem. So long as the president is the one appointing the INEC chairman, we cannot have a credible election.
All right.
So that has to be revised.
Do you hear that?
Yes. Nigerians are talking. See, I go to every part of the world where you have intellectuals, where you have people is Nigerians.
But he said
we are talking
that nobody won the election.
Nigerians are talking, and Nigerians know what they want. But because of this, I don't know how many percent they are, because they are opportune to be there. Because they're opportune, and they are using the military, the police, and the institution, weaponize them against us. This is, Nigerians are talking, but not only talking. We need to say no to all this rubbish. Because by the time we tell INEC, if you do this, we deal with you. We deal with your family. We deal with, and Nigerians will descend on them. Everybody will take heed.
That is
and do the right thing.
In one voice, not when the Nigerian youth are distracted or divided.
I have something to say about that.
Go ahead, sir.
See, INEC is a tool that can be used on both sides. But we are just very unfortunate that it's very easy to be used on the wrong side. Okay, I use that word because how can you have an institution so paramount to the development, to the progress of your country, and the institute is found wanting. It's found wanting. So it's a grievous miscalculation. It's a big error to Nigeria, because this country can never progress as long as one of the paramount, in fact, the most paramount institution is found wanting by the people. Just like you want to go to court and you do that, you know that the court will never be fair. So, and they said the court is the last of the common man. Because that's where the constitution is there to protect you, and is want to interpret the law and the constitution, and it's already going to be biased. So you're already finished now. So that is what is going on. But INEC is a tool, I use that word, elected, put there by somebody or some certain people. 2, the reps, that is the House of Assembly and the Senate, and the president. Those are the 2 major people who are killing us in this country. The Senate and the House of Assembly will make the law that the president will use, and their duty is to do oversight. They are busy doing most of the things that are not even part of their duty. You are collecting constituency allowance. Are you an administrator that you are collecting constituency allowance and you are doing projects in your community? Are you the administrator? When you already have an administrator, then you are taking over the function of the administrator. So how do you now monitor the administrator? How do you do oversight of the administrator when you have already taken over the function of the administrator? He is now the one to give you money, and then you collect the money, and then you do your project, and you are found wanting in your project. So how do you now tell the administrator that the money you gave me is not supposed to what you're supposed to give me? Or maybe what you're supposed to give my people is not what you're supposed to give my people. When you are yourself, you're already found wanting. Your hand has already soiled. So we have the issue there, because they are the ones who are supposed to make the law to refine INEC. They are the ones that are supposed to make the law to checkmate the executives, whether the governor, the president, the House of Assembly, the ministers, the commissioners, the head of agencies. They are the ones to checkmate, make laws to checkmate all these people, to regulate them. And they are so much found wanting in their primary duties. And that is why they say that anything President they will sign. How can somebody say that? There's no check and balance anymore, because they are soiled. Now, that's why I said the INEC is a tool. They have not made INEC a tool that they can use. And that's why everybody is coming publicly to expose them. A professor that did your election is in prison for the election, and you are still sitting down on that post. That means there's a contradiction, because if that election is wrong, you cannot be there. The moment they found the election that brought into the office to be wrong, you can't be in that post again now. But he is in that post, and the person who did the election is in prison. Look at the contradiction in the law. And then the question is, you that is still there, what law is putting you there when the law that put there is already telling you that you are not the person who put it there, so has heard in his action, and you are there. It's like you promoted the student, and you know that the student did not do exam, and then he asked, how do you, and the student is still in that class. Then he asked, what exam, what result put you where you are? The result is already faulty now, and you are still remaining where you are. That is the problem. So the 2 issues, as I said, INEC is a tool. They use INEC as a tool to make this country their property, their personal property, and that's what we are going through now. And that's the senior president told us that while we are protesting, that we are hungry, you will be somewhere eating and drinking. That you are totally separate from us.
All right, Mr. Tonimbata, you have something to say?
I want to say something.
What Pierre said.
The issue of Nigeria is a very hopeless situation that we find ourselves. And my people used to say in Igbo language, when you see a fowl using a leg to mash it and they be eating, you should pursue that fowl. Nobody knows who eat the leg. Okay. It could be you and I. I still respect Obasanjo as the most credible leader in this country. But I still frown that Obasanjo helped to institutionalize what is happening now. honestly speaking. Obasanjo had every opportunity to do our electoral reform. Should have been one of the best. Election will have been the best in Africa. But Obasanjo did not foresee what will happen today. I know he's regretting it. You could believe, you bear with me that in those days, PDP, Maurice, you will be where you are thumbprinting. Maurice will announce election. I was in the university then. He will announce it. He will announce it. He will go to Imo State when Ohakem came in. Abaso won that election. But because they don't like Abaso face, a lot of things happen. So what are we going to do is the question. One, we should not be allowing these people to be, putting fear in us. If they have taken over, they will do this. Nigeria should, sovereignty belongs to the masses. Sovereignty belongs to us. That's why we come out every election period to go and cast our vote. And we have the power to say, no, enough is enough. Everybody should stop saying, let them do it. And them now, and this country cannot change. This country will change when you and I say no. People say, today, we will not go run. People that are working say, today we are not going to office. Everybody will say no. Not because you're having 20 naira in your pocket you're eating. When people are protesting, say, na them, chop I chop. And this mentality of Nigeria is like a Iroko tree. Anybody that climbs should go and take your own and come back. That means you have not believed in one country. We have not believed in the developmental process or the healing process to make sure that we are one.
Does it look like that is the case? I mean, if
every leader that look at the crop of leaders we are having. Look at somebody will use how many billions to renovate a house. Somebody will live for 4 years. Somebody will buy jet of how many whereby people are dying. Look at their convoy. I witnessed the Unasine president. I saw the convoy. I said, is it not madness? Is it not? And the most annoying thing is that most of them travel abroad and see how their leaders behave. And see how their leaders comport themselves. But when they come to Nigeria, they can do anything because there is no check and balances. Because criminals and rogues and the 419ers are in the helm of affairs. So they can do anything they feel. And the people institution that are supposed to checkmate them, that are supposed to prosecute them, they cannot do it. And we are playing politics. Because if somebody is from Igbo, all Igbo people will protect him, whether he do something good or bad. It's our own person. Like Professor Mulumba will say, if he's from Yoruba, look at some people are saying, let us vote to Tinubu and Co. What did Tinubu and APC have done to us in this country? Any good thing, tell me. And people were saying, we are endorsing him because
Mr. Tony Mbata, is the problem Tinubu or the problem Buhari?
Tinubu is APC because as a general. It was APC. That when I say APC, it was APC that lie. Wait, sir. It was APC. With people make this APC. People are APC. Buhari them, Tinubu them, Atiku them, Amechi them, El-Rufai them. Exactly. That came to lie to Nigerians that we are dying with everything. People like us said no.
But and now, the names of these persons you mentioned were once in were once in this APC. Yes. And they're now in the ADC. How do you trust
that is to tell you that most people you are seeing is like something my people used to say in Igbo language, Okoroze Mozo. They will talk another thing. They are like Pharisees. And that's why we need not to believe almost all the things they are telling us. Someone like Wike came out and said betrayal is part of the game. How can a human being tell you a serious business like governance? He said it, that betrayal is part of the game. And why are you crying? And when they betrayed him, he was not crying. Right. So you look at those people are talking and you listen to it. Those people are the crop of people that are leadership. So you believe, look at people like El-Rufai that will tell the people that the Christian will not rule over them and bring in issue of religion. Look at Atiku will go and tell his people that they should not allow any Southerners to rule them. What the Northerners need is a Northern candidate, and the people preaching you to vote for him to put Nigeria in a better shape, and people are clapping for him. You see, these people are deceiving themselves, not somebody like me and some other Nigerians. And what I said is that Nigerians, we should wake up. Enough is enough.
Welcome to Chamress News TV.